Detective Lieutenant Elliot, and this is Trooper Wagner. We just want to ask a few questions.
Never fear, Benoit Blanc is back again, ready to untangle another baffling mystery. Netflix just dropped the trailer for Wake Up Dead Man, the third chapter in Rian Johnson's Knives Out series. Like the last two films, it's setting itself up as a murder puzzle packed with oddball suspects, sharp dialogue, and plenty of intrigue. The film is scheduled for a short 2-week theatrical run starting November 26th before it lands on Netflix worldwide on December 12th. That strategy is similar to what happened with Glass Onion, so it's becoming a bit of a tradition for this franchise. This time around, Daniel Craig returns as Benoit Blanc, diving into what's being billed as his most dangerous case so far. The story kicks off when a shocking and seemingly impossible murder shakes up a small town. Normally, Blanc might have plenty of shady figures to choose from, but here there's a surprising lack of suspects. That's where the local police chief, Geraldine Scott, played by Mila Kunis, steps in to team up with Blanc. Together, they try to unravel a case that seems to defy reason, and that setup alone makes it sound like Johnson is leaning into the stranger, more gothic tone he teased in the early promotional material. The cast this time is, once again, stacked with familiar names. Josh O'Connor is on board as a priest named Judd Duplessis. Well, that's it for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, because we'll be covering more updates on this soon and other exciting upcoming movies and series. We'll see you next time. Who works alongside Monsignor Jefferson Wicks, played by Josh Brolin. Wicks' circle of characters includes a bunch of intriguing figures. Glenn Close as Martha Delacroix, Thomas Hayden Church as the groundskeeper Samson Holt, Kerry Washington as lawyer Vera Draven, Daryl McCormick as aspiring politician Cy Draven, Jeremy Renner as the town doctor Nat Sharp, Kaylee Spenny as concert cellist Simone Vivian, and Andrew Scott as the author Lee Ross. With a lineup like that, it's no wonder the trailer leans heavily into the suspects' personalities and the dynamics between them, because half the fun in these movies is watching how all these strong characters bounce off each other. Johnson has been open about how he wished the theatrical run could be longer. In an interview with Business Insider, he said he'll keep pushing for more time on the big screen because he wants people to experience the film that way. But even though the theatrical window is short, Netflix is betting on the movie being a big streaming hit once it lands. That formula worked last time, so it makes sense they'd stick to it. The earlier teaser had already promised that Wake Up Dead Man would be darker and more gothic than Knives Out or Glass Onion, with Blanc in a slightly more observant role, watching the pieces fall into place. The new trailer shifts focus onto the suspects, showing off the web of lies, secrets, and betrayals that will shape the mystery. And among all these characters, Andrew Scott stands out right away. He's widely known for playing Moriarty in Sherlock, and because he often plays villains or morally gray figures, his presence here raises immediate questions. Is he friend, foe, or something more complicated? Johnson knows exactly how to use that kind of ambiguity to keep audiences guessing. Another fun detail is Jeremy Renner officially joining the cast. Fans of Glass Onion will remember that his fictional Renning hot sauce was a running joke in that film, but this time he's actually on screen as Dr. Nat Sharp. The trailer even includes a monologue from him, suggesting he'll have a major role to play. It's the kind of wink to continuity that fans appreciate, because it ties the movies together without making them too dependent on one another. After the film's world premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival, critics started weighing in, and the Rotten Tomatoes score came out strong. With 23 reviews counted, Wake Up Dead Man holds an impressive 95%. Critics are praising the chemistry among the cast, particularly the dynamic between Daniel Craig and Josh O'Connor. Some even went so far as to argue that the story is strong enough that it could stand on its own without Blanc, which says a lot about how well Johnson crafted the ensemble. Not all reviews are glowing, though. Screen Rant gave it a 6 out of 10, pointing out that while the themes of religion, priesthood, and greed add weight and depth, they sometimes slow down the fun. Still, even with a more serious tone than the earlier films, many critics said the movie doesn't lose sight of its playful spirit. It's a tricky balance, but Johnson seems to be making it work, which is part of why the series has been so successful. What's clear is that Rian Johnson has built something remarkable with the Knives Out franchise. Since the first film in 2019, he's become something like a modern-day Agatha Christie, crafting whodunits with his own blend of style, humor, and unpredictability. In this new installment, Benoit Blanc is drawn into the murder of a local Monsignor in a small upstate New York town, which already sounds like fertile ground for secrets, power struggles, and suspicion. Outside of this movie, Daniel Craig himself has been sharing ideas about the future of the series. In a recent Variety interview, he mentioned he'd like to see Jamie Lee Curtis return in a future sequel. She played Linda Drysdale in the first Knives Out, but some argue that Ana de Armas would be a stronger choice to bring back. As Marta, she was one of the heartbeats of the original film. Her relationship with Blanc had a warmth that balanced out the otherwise selfish and flawed ensemble. Many fans felt that Glass Onion, while entertaining, missed that kind of character, so Marta's return could be a way to rekindle that spark. Ana de Armas's Marta also makes sense from a story perspective. She ended the first film inheriting the entire estate after being cleared of suspicion, and she parted ways with Blanc on friendly terms. Having her pop back in to help with a future case would be believable and satisfying. Still, Johnson has been clear that he sees Knives Out as an anthology series, with each movie standing on its own. So if Marta or any other character were to return, it would have to be handled carefully. Looking at the bigger picture, the Knives Out films have been remarkably consistent in terms of quality. Both Knives Out and Glass Onion were embraced by critics and audiences, and even Glass Onion's short theatrical run was a success before it went to Netflix. Early signs suggest Wake Up Dead Man is continuing that streak, which only strengthens Johnson's reputation as one of the most reliable filmmakers working today. In fact, when you look back at his last 5 movies, the consistency is undeniable. Starting with Looper in 2012, which holds a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, through to Star Wars: The Last Jedi, which despite dividing audiences, still earned a 91% from critics, every project has cleared the 90% mark. Knives Out hit 97%, Glass Onion landed at 91%, and now Wake Up Dead Man is sitting at 96%. That's a 13-year run of critical success, which is pretty rare in the industry. Looper showed Johnson's knack for ambitious storytelling, using time travel in a way that felt fresh and emotional. Before that, his earlier films like Brick and The Brothers Bloom had already proven his originality, but Looper put him on a bigger stage. The Last Jedi may remain polarizing among fans, but many critics admired its boldness in breaking Star Wars traditions. And with Knives Out, Johnson found the perfect vehicle for his strengths, marrying sharp characters, twisting mysteries, and playful humor. It's not just his films either. His TV series, Poker Face on Peacock, also shows how well he can craft engaging mysteries. With Natasha Lyonne leading the show, it became another critical hit and now carries a 97% Rotten Tomatoes score. It proves that whether he's working on a movie or a series, Johnson has a gift for telling stories that hook people in. All of that sets the stage for Wake Up Dead Man to not only be another hit, but also to cement Johnson's reputation further. The trailer makes it clear that this isn't just more of the same. It's darker, it's moodier, and it's diving into themes like religion and greed, but it's still got that spark of fun that keeps the Knives Out movies from getting too heavy. Benoit Blanc may be at the center, but the supporting cast looks rich enough to steal scenes, and that balance is exactly why these mysteries keep working. So by the time Wake Up Dead Man lands in theaters and later on Netflix, it's likely to draw both longtime fans of the franchise and newcomers who just want a smart, entertaining mystery. For Johnson, it continues a streak that has lasted over a decade. For Daniel Craig, it gives him another chance to show a different side of himself post-Bond. And for audiences, it's another chance to get lost in a puzzle where every character could be guilty, every clue could matter, and every twist could change everything.